Here we go. Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 451. We're discussing episodes 18 and 21 of Ninninger. These three episodes in particular basically also, well, in the case of the last three, it ends the deadline plot thread. This starts a kind of a new one that lasts for a few episodes. So, mostly put in the case episode 18, it's revealed that Star Ninninger, he proceeded to go to Hawaii for a vacation. Yep, he went to Hawaii for a vacation. As for the reason for this, well, because basically he was on the way back to America and he had basically the sub Ninninger. So this one we have a normal yokai with this one. Yep, number one. And the whole thing with this one is that the yokai, which sprung up out of nowhere. Yeah, it was just... We didn't even see how this thing just magically formed except in a flashback. Yeah, we find out this yokai is actually the Blue Ranger's lawnmower. Because he says apparently a lawnmower is an Englishman's pride despite the fact he's Japanese. I thought this was really weird. It is mostly put his episode. Now, is this the case of basically where Red takes over the episode? Not really. He does figure stuff out, but basically Blue is still the focus character. Mostly put at first he's brainwashed, and then he thinks being brainwashed to get away, and finds out and basically feels, while basically massaging this lawnmower, pokes at something, which comes to play later on in the episode. So, then of course, basically when it goes giant size, well, basically finds out basically there is a way to restore to remove the Shuriken from the actual object to return back to normal. In the case of this one, they pretty much in the way he finds out that the Shuriken is actually in its forehead, so they just summon the submarine one. They just basically wait just the last episode, so they bring back Star Ninninger completely out of the blue. And they kind of basically merge, and then they basically destroy it. He gets his lawnmower back. Not really brought up again after this. Also, this thing likes to brainwash people. Now, when this thing appeared in Power Rangers... Oh, by the way, he's mentioned in the episode that this lawnmower was a gift from his mom. Yes, seriously. So, this character did pop up on Ninja Steel. Super Ninja Steel in a single episode known as Game Plan. You're like, what? Game Plan? Yeah, it's a video game based episode, so they basically throw a lawnmower based monster for the 5th episode of season 2, and he only appeared for one episode. And apparently he was basically, well, from what I read online, apparently he's parts of the Chainsaw Monster. Also, he's voiced by an actor by the name of Tatsu Gato, who apparently passed away in 2018 due to evaluable cancer. Apparently, he's known for voicing Dr. Z and Dinosaur King. That's kind of what he's known for. Really interesting standalone episode, but does bring the character back, which hits up a really good two-parter, which debuts a brand new mech for the series. Oh yeah, definitely. Yep, so in this episode, in episode 19, basically where Star Ninja is back in Japan, so he goes after Yaman. He battles him for being and finds him. Oh, the Flying Ally, basically where someone who the last ninja couldn't tame. So, thanks to also in the episode, thanks to the leader, yes, thanks to Getetsu, who actually does briefly appear in episode 19, though he's not fully resurrected yet, but we kind of see just his spirit per se. So, mostly put basically, he creates an advanced yokai. The first of one, two, three, four, five. The first of 6 in the whole series. This is a new A, which of course the common joke is, "Don't call me monkey, I'm a new A." Yeah. A might be asking, did this thing pop? By the way, there was a counterpart over. Believe it or not, this thing actually has a couple different counterparts. There was a new Yami over in Kamen Rider O's that appeared in the Shogun, Wonderful Shogun, and the 21 Core Medals, and there's a new monster that appeared in Kaka Ranger. Except this guy was very serious. He hated the grunts, and he appeared for 3 episodes. Now, his counterpart is Lord Drillion, who is an alien. Yep. And apparently he was the bodyguard to Princess Vieira. Who's Princess Vieira, you might ask? Why, she's a character pop up in a few episodes of the series. Who, I had this funny suspicion that maybe she and the Red Ranger may have been attracted to each other. But it never went anywhere. Not really. Yeah, so he's like very powerful, and he basically he bends one of their swords. He destroys 2 Shuriken, and he basically breaks one of the swords. So then they proceed to get away. We figured, how are we gonna fix it? So Star is like, hey, there's this guy, there's this engineer, and his name is, where is he here? Because I want to make sure I get the name right. Saka Takoshi, who apparently he had hired on. He said he never met the guy. He hired him on the internet to build his mech. And it's revealed in part 2 that, because they show a picture of the guy, the kid that's there, he's actually the son of the one who actually made all the technology. So, on the way up these stairs, this lion temple, they come across this drunk. Yep, a drunk. Who apparently decided to sweet talk, basically, the lady. Well, basically, let me point out about these two. About Fuka and Kasumi. Fuka, in this series, is a high schooler. She is 17 years old. Katsume is 18. Though technically she's an adult, but it's fine with her. But yeah, I find this kind of weird. It kind of is. So, and of course, basically, he does point out some of their flaws, like how when they're fighting him, that pink and blue are smart. Yellow basically just relies too much on his weapons. He does point out, though, that red is strong, but not full of confidence. He does point out that, well, he calls Star the American ninja. He says he's got talent, but not used to work with a team. But basically, everything is proven true. And he does ask, basically, why they want him. So he can basically become the last ninja and, well, fight the yokai. He's like, I'm not interested. That's what the correct answer I'm looking for. Yeah, they have the correct answer next episode. So they turn him down right after he basically... Well, they actually debut this mech at the end of episode 18 because this series loves having characters have a sneak preview debut at the end of an episode and become basically a plot thread. This happened with Geba, who basically kind of made his debut. They previewed this character at the end of episode 2. The Chief Retainer, we debut him, preview for him in episode 12, and now we have basically a Zord. Okay, first villain. We actually do the same thing in episode 20, believe it or not. Yeah, so they try and convince him once again to try to join, but then of course the monster shows up again, and so They have fighting him, and of course, by the way, also the teenager, the kid who's there, who's the son of the man who built all the stuff. He fixes their stuff, no problem. Sokka the 22nd. Yep, that's his name, Sokka the 22nd. So he fixed their stuff, and by the way, the name of the Lion Zord. Okay, so his name is. So the guy who they met, his name is Shesha-O. He is the human spirit form of a mech known as Lion Ha-Ojo. Yeah. Which, by the way, this thing did pop up in Ninja Steel, except it came from space, it was not an Earth-based thing like it was here. Now, as for why in the world basically it was, I'm not sure. So the guy who plays him he doesn't seem like he's Japanese. Well, apparently he is. Apparently, get this, he sung the theme song for Gal Ranger. You're like, what? Seriously? Yeah. He did appear in one episode of Gal Ranger, episode 6. And sadly put, this is the most recent appearance of him. He's a singer. So, here's the songs he sang. The opening song for Mega Ranger, Seikyu Super Galaxy Mega. Gingaman, I think he sang the opening. Okay, was insert theme for first was insert theme, and then he did. So he did 2 insert themes for Gingaman. Victory Robo. This was the theme for basically the one of the mechs. Super Mega. This was an insert song. But yeah, basically he did one opening theme song. He did a theme song for one of the songs for Go Bus. Mostly he does a lot of insert songs. He did do the opening song for Akaba Ranger, which was a parody of it. For this show he actually sung the song for his own mech. Oh yeah, definitely, he sung it. Doesn't I find it interesting that you have a guy, you have an insert song for this show, and it's sung by the guy who plays the character? Yeah, he's good. Very good. So, then of course, basically, Sokka just takes the sword from Taka, and they chase around, of course, figures out exactly why. Just point out the stuff about the other members of the team. It's like all he wants to do is run wild, which apparently kind of figures out though, because his grandfather didn't want to go wild. Yeah, he didn't want to go wild. He basically, because he feels the same way, he likes to go wild. So Lionel wants the same thing too. So then it's revealed he actually made an actual Shuriken. Should go inside of it. It's given to Taka. He gets this armor, which yes pops up in Ninja Steel 2, and then he proceeds to with his team destroy it in this mode, and it goes giant size. And then we have basically what appears to be the warrior mode of Lion Ha-Jo, which is referred to as Lion Hinge Lion Ha-O. Yes. And here's the weird thing. When it stands up, the cockpit is basically... So, the way this thing works... And I thought this was really weird when I saw this in Ninja Steel. So, he sits inside the mouth of the lion, and that's the cockpit. Basically, it's an open cockpit. Yeah, it's like this show doesn't like having people inside of stuff. It's like... Yeah, like... Here's the thing. The mechs in this show, like the main ones for the main mech, yeah, do we see them inside their mechs? No, they basically put their sword in their shoulders and they drive them that way. I'm like, does that find that kind of weird? That we have a series where the Rangers just don't go inside their own freaking mechs? But yeah, a lot of other shows do it, but not this one for some weird reason. Now those of you curious why it was like that over in Ninja Steel, well, they're confined by the Sentai footage, so they can't exactly. So it's not exactly their fault for that, because I'm sure anybody could easily point to, like, hey, why are they outside their mechs? Where's the cockpit? Don't these things have a cockpit? Well, there is one whenever they form the mech, but not basically when they're in regular robot form. Also, the Red Ranger's mech does not shrink in size. Nope, it doesn't talk either. As for why that is, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I honestly do not have any idea of exactly, like, why Sentamaru, who is basically the mech for this show, where he's able to shrink down. Yeah, I'm not really, like I said, I don't really know why. He does appear pretty much the whole show, and I've never heard of basically now, in Sentai, those of you curious, has there been a mech in Sentai where they shrunk down? Yes. This happened in Kyroger. Yep. Definitely. Yeah. So, they get their mech, and, of course, Star is officially made a interim student of the Last Ninja, and Azaemon basically seeing, oh crap, they got basically Lion-O. Well, the name of the mech is actually Lion Ha-O. So, he's like, oh crap, I thought we were going to say this person's for later, but oh well. So then he proceeds to pour the fear liquid stuff on this broken mask that looks like belongs to a female. We'll see this character next episode. Yes, the third time in the series where we actually have a sneak preview of a character at the end of an episode. Though, third time this has happened, at least in the case between first and second time, at least it was 10 episodes. This... And between this, actually no, this was the fourth time. Fourth time in the series this happened, but third time for the villains when they do this. So, in the case of sneak preview of a new villain, at this point it's only been 8 episodes since I did this. But overall, it only been 2 episodes since the last one I did this, and before that was like 6. Yep. Excuse me, yeah, but that's pretty much it for a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, we have one comment corner, and then it's on back to Ninninger for more episodes and a movie. Okay, thanks you. Bye.